what it is, y'all. We got the Nova trial incoming in a couple of days. That's our prize right there, Mr. Nova himself. That's what we want to do, is get that unlocked. So this is a new experience for Lil Gid, right? Big Gid's gonna be able to get it, no problem. But this is a new experience for Lil Gid. We are gonna see if we can put ourselves in position to unlock on the first go around here. Right? I'm not sure what it's gonna take, but we're gonna see if we can put ourselves in position. What do we got to do? Well, here is the breakdown of the different nodes as they got right there on the website on MarvelStrikeForce.com. Look on the updates, the last update. They'll let you know what the different nodes are going to look like. Our goal is difficulty number 5. In the past, right? So we're judging this by past, right? So the Horseman Scourge events. The Nova trial looks like it's set up similar to the Horseman Scourge events. And in the past, if you could do difficulty 5, you could unlock the character. All right. In the past, if you could do difficulty 5, you could unlock the character. So we're trying to see if Little Gid is in position to be able to do that. We're going to look at the nodes real quick, the requirements there, and see what individuals we have at our disposal and see how they're going to get on. First up, notice that the first mission there is no restrictions. So you can use anybody. A side point on that is, as you look down the rest of the requirements, right, like the City Hero, Global Bio, Cosmic, the Quicksilver, Master of Evil, X Factor, you should probably try to not use any of those characters, or right, just so they don't get tired, just so they don't get beat, so your cooldowns are not out of order. Or on the flip side, you could intentionally use some of those characters. The point would be to get their cooldowns maxed out, so you can just start their node with max abilities and go from there. So that might mean you want to use a burner team of some sort to just kind of, not necessarily a weak team, but a team that's not listed in any other items as normal. You're going to go through, get down to the last 2 or 3 enemies, lose or quit out, come back in with that team that you intend to use later, and just use basics until they charge up their abilities. That makes sense? So that might be a strategy for us. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. All right. So in the first node, if we were doing difficulty 5, Quicksilver is an option because we are not high enough in Cosmic Crucible yet on the baby account. We do not have Quicksilver, so he's off the board. He's not an option. X Factor. Again, an older team, they kind of have had their day. So for the purpose of Little Gid, it's a bad idea, right? It's a bad idea for a newer player to power up an older team like this. So we're going to just leave them lie. We don't have any power into them. So again, if this is your first time dealing with these events and having an opportunity to maybe make some noise, don't just power people up. Don't just power people up. You got to wait and see. The event stays around for a few days. So wait and see, check what other people are doing, check the Instagram, check YouTube, check Discord, whatever. See what other people are doing before you start powering up characters that you normally would not. We want to get the character. We want to get Nova, but wasting resources isn't going to help us to do that. We want to spend effectively so we can get the most bang for our buck, as it were. And as we said, since X Factor is such an old team, they're not worth Little Gid investing in, so we're just going to leave them right there. And the third option is the Masters of Evil. I haven't touched them for the most part since they came out. This is how I got them all. This is what we did when we were doing the Crucible, and I haven't touched them since. Because of the event, again, we're going to keep our eye on it. We might take them higher. Okay, we might take them higher. We're not going to do it today, but we're going to keep an eye on the event. Are they able at this power level to do difficulty 5? If not, then we will continue to invest. All right. So that means this is one of those rare times that I'm going to say to not spend resources, right? I'm not talking about hoarding. People talking about hoarding. We're not talking about hoarding. It's Monday when I'm making this video. The event starts on Tuesday. So it's just a couple of days, right? And then it'll be a couple of days of the actual event. And then I'm going to need to power up the new warriors because Gwenpool and Firestar will be coming out, and I want to be able to complete that team. So now's the time to kind of slow down and pause, hit the brakes on what the other things I was doing, and focus on what's in front of me, right? You always focus on what's in front of me. We've got Nova, we got the rest of the new Warriors team, so I'm going to need resources to make sure I get those characters and are able to use them properly. And because of that, we're just going to slow down on the resources. We're going to see if the Masters of Evil can get it done. If not, then this is a team that I will be comfortable putting more resources into, right? Unless I get totally annihilated. If it looks like it's completely out of reach, you're not going to do it. But if you're almost there, you start looking around, seeing what other people are using. You know, there are a couple, your gear tier is so higher. If I put a little bit more power into their level, right? So we're just going to keep an eye on it. But that is one of the teams that we are comfortable increasing their power if need be. The next branch of people are the city heroes, and this may be our limiting factor, right? We do have Spider-Man 2099, but he can't do it by himself. And then we have some of the web warriors. Not sure how they're going to fare in the event. We're going to have to take a look. We're going to have to see. We do notice that Cloak and Dagger are down there. So again, it's appropriate. I am comfortable putting power into those two characters as, again, they are part of the new Warriors, and that's the release for this month. So I am comfortable building them up. In fact, it might be time anyway. I might have another campaign video out a little bit later, but I think I've decided that it's the 15th of the month, so we're halfway through the month. I haven't put any power into the new Warrior characters, so it's probably time for me to stop, pause, and start directing resources in that direction. We'll have to see. Again, we got to see what these nodes are like, so we might just stack. We might just stack our resources and see what other people are able to do, but that might be the pivot to get through these nodes. All right, we'll see if the Web Warriors can get me through number 4. If they can, and they can't get me through 5, then all the more reason to put more power into the new Warriors. Beyond that, we'll just have to look. We'll just have to see what people are doing. We'll just have to see what's happening. There is a Miss Marvel, obviously, for tanking purposes, and a Squirrel Girl. There is Squirrel Girl later on down. She falls into that category. So for me, I think this is going to be my limiting factor. These nodes are going to be, they're going to determine what I get, right? They're going to determine the star level. This is going to be the bread and butter, the length of what I'm able to do. Next up, we have bio global characters, and the Rebirth team in its entirety fits into that category, which is good. It's a good thing, right? Rebirth has been great. They've been a good team. They've been able to get stuff done. So I'm happy to see that. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with those characters. Again, if I need to put a little more power into them, I will. We're going to have to worry about those other nodes first, I think. Was watching Boylan, right? Props to Boylan. Was watching him. He brought out a good reminder that US Agent doesn't really do anything outside of raids. Okay, he does have an ability block, though. One of his abilities works all the time. One of them only works in raids. We will have a ability block, so that might be something to keep in mind. Otherwise, if you don't think it's something you're going to need, we could maybe pull him and use another character. Who? I'm not sure. Maybe that Red Hulk. Maybe that Red Hulk just to do more damage. Otherwise, we got a couple of Masters of Evil's members in the form of Titania and Moonstone. Both of them have control effects, right? They won't have as many by themselves compared to the rest of the team, but they do both have control effects like stuns, ability blocks, defense downs, something of that nature. So if you're going to pull US Agent, maybe it's one of those individuals, or maybe there's just subs for if you were to lose a character as you're going through the nodes. Okay, our goal is to get through and get healthy and get out the other side unscathed, but if for some reason that does not happen, you have another character or two you could sub in to continue the push and get those points. Finally, we'll be looking at the cosmic section. So we got the go-to. We got Icarus, we got Cersei, Kestrel's there, obviously, great pick, and Kang the Conqueror. So that's going to make up my top 4. That's going to make up my top 4 because that's just what I have available. There are stronger characters that some people have available. I do not have them. This is what I got. And so to round that out, I'm probably going to go with Loki just for the speed and to offer. I use him as a protector. He isn't, but I use him as a protector in the sense that those clones pop out. They cloak, right? They stealth the rest of my team just to try to help them to not take damage. That's what I typically use him for. And then if he goes down, I'm just going to start popping people in, right? Thor, he's good, but he's not going to do a whole lot by himself. And neither are the rest of the individuals. They'll just be placeholders. And I'm hoping that those top 4 will be enough to get me through. The problem with the cosmic section is there's a lot of good characters that are cosmic, so they tend to be difficult. It is possible that we run into a wall here and are not able to punch through. But again, we don't know till we get there. We're not going to make any investment and change anything until we see what's going on. We'll eye it up and scout it out in a couple days when the event starts. So what would happen if we cannot do difficulty 5? Then there would be a couple minor adjustments. At difficulty 4, villains become a topic. So again, a lot of great characters there. We got that Ultra. We got Masters of Evil. They're all villains, right? So you wouldn't be restricted simply to Masters of Evil and Quicksilver. You could use other villains to assist. I would assume that they would punch through this relatively easy. We'll find out when the time comes. Instead of City Hero, you would just have City. That it changes a little bit, right? It changes a little bit. We've added Mr. Negative to the equation. I got a Green Goblin who's got a little power. I don't know if him by himself is gonna assist, but otherwise we have the Web Warriors, as we said. We got 2099, so it just gives us a couple extra players, right? Shang-Chi, that if we find that the nodes are too difficult, we have people we can sub in to try to get through. All right, I'm hoping difficulty 4, difficulty 5, I'm hoping to be manageable. If not, I'm hoping difficulty 4 will be manageable. But it's interesting. We'll see what a mid-game player is able to accomplish. So if global bio, that's in number 5. If we had to do number 4, it would just be bio. So again, we're in good shape, right? We're in good shape for this section. We got Rebirth. We got Empowered at a good degree. There's other stand-ins. I think this portion of it, we should be fine. I'm hoping at this portion of it, we should be fine. It's just going to come down to, again, what happens, I think, with the one before this, the spider characters and what they're able to do. So you see what I'm planning. You're looking at my outline. This is what I'm going to try to do. This is what I think is going to get us through. But we're not going to power anybody up. So again, we just encourage you to just hold on to your resources. This is not hoarding. It's just we're getting ready. We're getting in position. Position yourself. Hold on to your resources. See what other people are doing. Wait maybe through the first day, right? Just do the nodes that you can with whatever you have. Don't power anybody up the first day. Just do whatever you can do and stop there. Then check and see what worked. Check and see what other people are using. Check and see what power level they have them at. And then you say, okay, is it reasonable for me to come up? Is it reasonable for me to be able to match that, to get it done, to get that score, right? Then you're not wasting the resources. Because if it's reasonable, then you have them. You can go up and do it. If it's not reasonable, you know that it's out of reach for this time. And then you have already made a score. So you already contributed. You've already got some points, right? You're already getting some Nova on the board. But if whatever the other cats are doing are significantly out of reach, then you will not have wasted your resources. So that's what I got. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the day. Please try to get outside and get some fresh air. Scopely said touch some grass. People freak out about that, but it's real, man. It's real. You got to get outside. That's what helps the creative juices to flow. So get up, get outside, get some fresh air, take care of yourself. Peace.